Hello, welcome to Revenant Reads. This is an announcement video for Book Trek 2025 In Search of Book Trek. So, Book Trek is an annual booktube event where we read, we celebrate, and we geek out over Star Trek fiction. It has been going on for, I'm losing count, this might be the fifth year, I'm not entirely sure. However long I've been on booktube, that's how long it is. So, I had created Book Trek my first year of booktube after having a conversation with Steve Donahue. And in that conversation, we had both talked about how much we loved Star Trek and Star Trek fiction. And I had mentioned that, Star Trek fiction is something that I read in the summer. So I'm a teacher, and one of the ways that I celebrate the summer and that I relax during my time, fixing this a little bit, that I relax, if I'm going to relax on a beach, my version of a beach read is Star Trek fiction. So it has always been, for many years, my way to just kind of relax over the summer. I've been a Star Trek fan for, most of my life, of course, and still watch Star Trek. It's something that my wife and I bonded over when we were dating. And so it's a franchise that means quite a bit to us. And so after that conversation, I just kind of decided, let's make a booktube event. So Steve Donahue was there for the first year, right along with me. Michael K. Vaughn was also there in the first year. And we've had people kind of joining over time. I'll get into the people who are going to be a part of this in just a little bit. But essentially what Book Trek is just reading Star Trek fiction. And Star Trek fiction has been around since the 1970s, and it has changed over time, but that just means that you have more choices. There's flavors of Star Trek that you can try out. If you've never read Star Trek before, pick your favorite version or iteration within the franchise. It might be original series, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. Maybe you like Kelvin Timeline. Maybe you like, Discovery. I don't like Discovery, but maybe you like Discovery. Or so there's Picard, right? Which is a very imperfect series. I thought season 2 was awful. I like season 3 a lot, though. But so far, I've read a couple books in the Picard series, and I like the books a lot. I think the books are actually, in many ways, better than most of the series. There's that. I think even Lower Decks has graphic novels, so that would count as Star Trek fiction. So give it a try. For the most part, especially the older Star Trek things, stuff from the 90s and 80s, some of it is really good. Some of it is really meant to just be very disposable. Some of it's very bad. You're going to have a mix, but I think no matter what, you'll end up having fun. You don't read it for the amazing literature. You read it to just kind of get lost in that world. It is a world which, sees humanity as advancing. It's one of the few futuristic science fiction, visions that says that we will actually get better. We'll have some issues along the way, but ultimately the trajectory is that we will get better and we will advance morally, ethically, along with our technology. So I think it's maybe a message that we need now more than ever. So if you want to participate in Book Trek, it is 3 months long. It will go from June, July, and August. Excuse me. It is a summer event. It has been that way pretty much, I think, for the past 3 years now. And all you gotta do is pick up some Star Trek fiction and read it. That's it. If you want recommendations, in my announcement video last year, I did give some recommendations, so I'll link that down in the description. You can go and check that out. But it's not difficult to find Star Trek books. Just grab whatever interests you and pick it up. So I am definitely going to be reading. I'll read this, certainly. One of the Picard books that I haven't read yet. I had gotten this and this for my birthday last week, so from my in-laws. So, I'm going to try and get to those. I had held up before. I had found in a secondhand local store, Star Trek Titan. This is the series that shows William Riker's his captaincy on the Titan. This is the first book in that, so this is a contender. There's a lot of different things that I want to try and read, but the whole point for me of Book Trek is to just kind of relax and have fun with it. So we also have 2 optional away missions. So the main mission is to read Star Trek fiction. The away mission, or if you choose them, the first one is to read nonfiction science. So, as I said, Star Trek is a series or a franchise which says that human beings will advance morally and ethically, pretty much in tandem with our technology. Now that, of course, can't happen unless people are scientifically literate. It is a, science. Star Trek is a franchise in which people solve their problems generally through science and through scientific understanding. So to sort of promote that, in that spirit, one of the optional away missions is to actually read a book that teaches nonfiction science. And there's plenty of pop science things if you want, or else you can go more serious. It doesn't really matter. The other away mission is to read things that are Star Trek related, just that aren't fiction. So that can be nonfiction if it's like a maybe it's a production history, or it's a a biography from maybe one of the actors or something like that. It can be a parody of Star Trek. Anything that is Star Trek related that isn't exactly fiction, that is also considered within that category of the away mission. So that's it. It's going to start in June. Like I said, for me, it really starts when school is out. So I won't be reading Star Trek fiction until the end of June. But once I do, I'll be, throwing myself into it. And I'll be reading Star Trek fiction throughout June, July, August, like I said. My co-host, Steve Donahue, is coming along once again. Michael K. Vaughn as well. We've got Brandy from the Booklectic. We've got Fred from Read by Fred, which in his announcement video, he will probably be wearing a Star Trek uniform, which I am jealous of. Even if I own one, I'm probably too fat to fit in it, but he's in good shape, so he looks good in it. And we got Randy Ray from the Literate Texan. He's also going to be along with us for the ride. I hope you can join us, have fun with it. It's Star Trek. It's a franchise that I love. I don't love everything from Star Trek, especially not in recent years, but I am hopeful that it will once again sort of get on track. My video or my comment section is not necessarily to debate Star Trek, but just to know that you don't have to love all of Star Trek to join in with Book Trek. Pick the thing that you love and give it a try if you've never tried it. So, yeah. Grab Star Trek fiction, try it out this summer. And that's it. Hopefully you can join us. All right. Thank you, BookTube.